What if the greatest threat to your future isn't what you're chasing, but what you're avoiding? Picture this. Every day, a silent force is draining your drive, dimming your dreams, and convincing you it's just life. It's not loud. It doesn't scream for attention, but it's more destructive than any addiction because it hides in plain sight, disguised as normal. Stick with me, because by the end, you'll see exactly what's holding you back and how to break free. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." There's something inside you right now that's quietly shaping your future, not through temptation, but through neglect. It's not the lure of quick pleasures like addiction. It's the slow poison of habits you don't even question. We live in a world obsessed with warning against vices, addictions, distractions, instant gratification. And yes, those can wreck you. But there's something even more dangerous, something Jung saw clearly: the subtle ways you betray your own potential. It's not about what you do wrong. It's about what you don't do at all. These are the invisible choices that erode your confidence, cloud your purpose, and make you feel like you're stuck in a loop. Jung believed that when you lose sight of your inner spark, what he called the self, you start to drift, not into chaos, but into something worse: apathy. The most dangerous shadow isn't failure. It's the quiet belief that trying isn't worth it. This isn't the loud despair of a crisis. It's the slow drip of giving up on yourself. It comes from moments when you let fear, doubt, or comfort win. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," or skip a goal because it feels too hard, you chip away at your trust in yourself. You don't just lose time. You lose faith in your own voice. Over time, you stop believing you can change. You stop trusting your own promises. And that shift? It's a silent killer of potential. You start to hesitate, not because you lack ability, but because you've convinced yourself the outcome won't matter. You avoid challenges because they might expose your flaws. You shy away from ambitious people because their energy highlights your own stagnation. You gravitate toward those who validate your excuses, not because they're right, but because they make you feel safe. Jung called this sinking into the collective shadow, when you let the world's doubts become your own. Here's the chilling part. You might think you're still trying. You make lists, set resolutions, dream big. But deep down, you're not moving. You're stuck in what Jung called the illusion of the ideal self, where thinking about change feels like progress. You get a hit of satisfaction from planning, from imagining a better you. But it's a trap. That rush isn't growth. It's a substitute for it. You tell yourself, "I'm working on it." You buy a new notebook, download an app, watch a motivational video. But when it's time to act, not yet. That hesitation isn't laziness. It's fear dressed up as preparation. Jung would say, "You don't find light by dreaming of it. You find it by facing the dark." The darkness isn't just your fears. It's the excuses you've internalized. It's the voice that says, "Why bother? It's too late. Others are better." And the longer you listen, the more you seek out people who echo that voice, not because they're cruel, but because they're comfortable. They tell you life is unfair, success is rare, effort is pointless. These conversations don't inspire, they anchor you. Jung described this as the collective slumber. When you trade your unique path for the safety of blending in, you stop questioning, you stop striving. You start to see ambition as foolish, action as risky. And without realizing it, you build a cage, I tried before. It didn't work. This is just who I am. But that's not wisdom. It's surrender. It's not truth. It's a story you've accepted because facing the real one hurts. When you see someone else chasing their dreams, you smirk. They'll fail, you think. But why? Because you're afraid their success will expose your own inaction. Jung's warning is clear. The shadow grows stronger when you ignore it. It lives in the habits you don't challenge, the conversations you don't leave, the actions you don't take. It's in the moment you choose scrolling over creating, complaining over building, waiting over starting. And here's the trap. You might think you're preparing for greatness, but you're actually addicted to the idea of it. Modern science backs this up. Planning releases dopamine, mimicking the feeling of achievement. But it's a lie. Jung called this living in the fantasy of the archetype, where you worship the idea of who you could be without ever becoming them. Take Sarah. She wanted to start a business. She read books, took notes, sketched logos. But she never launched. Why? Because every time she got close, a voice whispered, "What if it fails? What if you're not good enough?" So she stayed in research mode, safe in the dream of success, without the risk of failure. Her potential didn't die from a lack of skill. It died from a lack of courage. Jung would say, the shadow doesn't just hide your flaws, it hides your strength. Sarah didn't lack ideas. She lacked trust in herself. And that trust? It's not built by waiting. It's built by doing, however small, however imperfect. The scariest part? The longer you delay, the more your identity fuses with inaction. You don't say, I didn't finish that project. You say, I'm not someone who finishes things. You don't say, I'm scared. You say, that's not for me. And when those thoughts become who you are, change feels like betraying yourself. But here's the truth. You're not stuck. You're choosing every day to stay where you are. And you can choose differently, not with a grand gesture, but with one small, real step. Jung called this the spark of individuation. The moment you start becoming who you're meant to be, not who fear or habit has made you. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to move, write one sentence, take one walk, say no to one excuse. These aren't just actions. They're votes for a new story about yourself. Each one rebuilds the trust you've lost. Jung said, the path to wholeness is through the shadows. That means facing the discomfort you've avoided. It means accepting that growth hurts, but staying still hurts more. It means choosing to act, even when you're afraid, because every step forward weakens the shadow's grip. You're not your doubts. You're not your delays. You're the person who decides, right now, to take one step toward what matters. The soul doesn't thrive on safety. It thrives on courage. So here's your challenge. Stop planning, stop dreaming, and start. Pick one thing, small, messy, imperfect, and do it today, not tomorrow, not when you're ready, today. Because every time you act, you tell your shadow, you don't own me. This is what Jung meant by individuation, becoming yourself, not through flawless execution, but through relentless honesty. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be real. What's the one step you're going to take today to break free from your shadow? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear it. And if this hit home, smash that like button, subscribe, and let's keep this journey going together. Let's wake up, face the dark, and build the life we're meant for.